When you are running, and I'm using running as an example here, only because running is a lot easier to explain than, let's say, lifting, or even if you're doing a HIIT workout. So there is a reason why HIIT is also structured in that way. But I'm going to talk more on the running side right now as the example. So let's say you're running, and you're running at a pace that is quite slow, or it's quite fast because you have been running frequently, and your endurance levels are quite high. So you are running at a pace where you're able to have a conversation. When I say have a conversation, what I mean is reciting the alphabet from, let's say, A to G. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, without having to take a breath. So the other option is where you go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? So that would be the other option. That's the option where you can't say the entire sentence without having a breath or a couple of breaths in the middle. Let's take option 1 again, where you can say the entire sentence. At that point, when you can say the entire sentence and talk very easily, because your activity levels are not that high, or they are high, but your body has adapted to those high levels already, your body is actually using your fat as fuel. So if you have fat resources, which everyone does, your body automatically holds on to fat, because that is the survival technique, or the survival mechanism of the human body. So we will hold on to fat. So when you're in that stage where you're able to have a conversation and you're doing your activity, you are using your fats. So if you want to use fats as fuel, you want to decrease your fat percentage, you should be in that range where you are able to have a conversation and also do your workout, whatever that workout might be. It might be walking uphill at an incline, or it might just be walking at a brisk walk. It might be running as well, and it might be lifting also, right? But lifting is a slightly different category. That's why I'm not going there. But on the other hand, if you don't want to, or you unconsciously didn't know this is the way it works, and you happen to always be working out at a level where you're unable to have a conversation, you will build your endurance levels, no doubt. But your body doesn't need your fat as the fuel for that workout. Your body will be using carbohydrates, or the sugars from your body, to fuel that particular workout. So you're in a case where you're doing a run and you're unable to have a conversation, which is in scenario 2 here, and you're saying A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, so that is exactly how you feel. Getting those words out is quite hard because you're concentrating, you're killing it, you're like slaying that run. But you have to have enough of carb resources to be able to fuel that run, because otherwise you're not going to be able to run as effectively. You will not be able to get that much out of your activity. So how do you get those carb resources in? You have to carb load prior. So it can be carb loading 2 to 3 days prior to the event even, and you will see a lot of athletes and people who even are just enthusiasts, who are like race enthusiasts, or do quite a lot of marathons, half marathons, or I don't know, something that's a lot more endurance than a 5K or so. They have something called a goo gel, and that goo gel is pure concentrated carbs, which is absorbed really quickly into your body and automatically used as fuel at the same time. And this is the reason why, because they need the carbs to fuel their workout when they're doing it at high activity levels, or high endurance levels. I hope this is helpful in thinking about what your goals are and what you're trying to achieve, and how you go about achieving it as well. Because, for example, I know that I used to do quite a lot of running in the past, and I would always be running at a pace where I was able to have a conversation. A lot of my running mates thought I was a bit too chatty, but at the same time, I was being chatty. I do enjoy having a social run. And at the same time, I also was able to maintain a pace, or go to a pace that I was able to have a conversation run, and I know that it was tapping into my fat resources at that point. But you need to also be careful when you are doing a high endurance levels activities and you don't have the right fuel for it. So let's say you're doing a lot of walking and you don't have enough of fat stores, which is very rare. It's almost impossible that you won't have fat stores to fuel that walk where you're able to have a conversation. So it's called the talk test. So your talk test is okay, you are able to have a conversation. But you don't have that much of fat, then eventually your body will start to eat into your muscles. And this is something that you will see a lot more in endurance activities, and that's why you see endurance athletes are never bulky. They rarely have really chunky muscle. They have very lean muscle and the bare minimum, because they are unable to build much muscle. Because what happens is, as soon as if they are in scenario 2 again and they are able to not have a conversation, they're running, they're killing it, and they're going for that race, and they're aiming for a particular time, of course. They have tapped out on their carb resources perhaps during their run and they haven't realized it. What does their body do? Switches into using your muscle mass. It eats into your muscle mass, and that's another reason that they always stay so lean. I hope this is helpful. Take care. Let me know if you have any other questions on this. I always advise everyone that they should think about this when they are doing an activity and mix it up. You do a combination. You do some activities that are at high level, some activities that are at a low level, so that you get a variety. Variety is the spice of life, and it's always good to do everything in balance, right? So stay balanced, keep moving. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and share so people can benefit from it. And please do comment if you have any questions as well. Thank you so much. Take care.